The last couple of years of the 1980s were the peak of human civilization. You know, at least according to my writer. George Michael, Guns N' Roses, Die Hard, Coming to America, In Excess, Child's Play, Rain Man. Actually, from a tech retrospective though, looking back to 1988 feels like studying the Dark Ages. But things were moving fast. Tech companies had their gems and shining moments. Were these Tandy 1400s among them? It seems rather unlikely that in our modern throwaway society, something like a Chromebook would still be working after 32 years of storage and abuse. But will these late 80s Tandy laptops still work today? Stay tuned to the end and we'll find out. Hey guys, it's Jacob with Tandy Lab, and today we're taking a look at these Tandy 1400 laptops from a time when computers weren't considered to be something portable. Before we start talking facts and figures, let's study the Dark Ages a little and take a look at what was going on in the computer industry in '88. Creative Labs released the first Sound Blaster audio card. Steve Jobs was hyping people up with his soon-to-be-released Next Cube computer. King's Quest IV was the hot new game, and the newest processor was the 386SX. While laptops had technically been around since the early 80s, they were so expensive and annoying that few people even considered the possibility of a portable computer. Companies like Grid were way ahead of the curve with their laptop designs, and they knew it. And high tech comes with high prices. We're talking like $8,000 high. This means that in order to get your hands on something you'd recognize as a modern laptop, you'd have to shell out over $19,000 in today's money. Fortunately for that peak of civilization theory, the rest of the world was catching up fast. Tandy and other consumer-oriented computer companies were figuring out how to produce small, lightweight systems that weren't too power-hungry for 80s battery tech. Although the Tandy 1400 LT was actually one of the first real portable systems ever able to run on battery power. Also, the batteries themselves were getting better. Once the lithium-ion battery came along, the door was wide open for portables. Lithium-ion tech went from prototype to production at an amazing pace, and we're still using them today. Another technological leap forward came from flat panel displays. There is a list of subcategories associated with thin display improvements, but the biggest breakthroughs came from a combination of LCDs and backlighting, which incidentally were some of the 1400's big selling points. Before 1988, you basically had two choices for your portable: an outrageously expensive gas plasma display or something completely unreadable. When the 1400 LT came along, you could read it, and it would only set you back $1,599, or about $3,400, figuring for inflation. If you were to drop $3,400 on a laptop today, it's safe to say you would have a pretty serious piece of gaming hardware. In 1988, the equivalent, $1,600, wasn't going to get you cutting-edge computer specs, but it would yield something new and very usable, which was a major step up. What the 1400 LT offered was an 8088 equivalent NEC V20 CPU running at 7.16 MHz, 768K of RAM with 128K available for a RAM disk or print spooler, 16K of ROM, two 720K 3.5-inch floppy disk drives, the infamous cutting-edge backlit Super Twist LCD display with 640 by 200 resolution and a 1 by 1.4 aspect ratio, an RGBI CGA color monitor output, serial and parallel ports, composite video out, enhanced keyboard port, and an external disk drive port, an optional Hayes-compatible 1200 baud modem, a full-size 76-key keyboard, LED indicators for caps lock, num lock, scroll lock, low battery, and standby, MS-DOS and GW Basic, The amazing 12 volt, 2200 milliamp removable battery with 4 hours of runtime, standby mode, and a real-time clock. All of that with the power of an entire room full of equipment from the 1960s, only weighed in at 13.5 pounds. It even had a flip-out handle, so you could save yourself the expense of purchasing a $40 soft case. By the way, that's $86 today. That amounts to mixed results for the whole peak of civilization theory, when a handle on your laptop is a selling point even though you needed to carry floppy disks and a power supply around anyway. Maybe that's why one of the 2 follow-ups to the 1400 LT was the 1400 HD, which included a 20 megabyte hard drive. The other was a machine with similar performance specs to the 1400 LT, except that the 1400 FD was a little bit lighter and had a better battery than the LT. It also consumed less power, so there were some internal architecture changes made. Taking a close look at this $26 1400 FD we found on eBay, it looks to be in good condition. Just like the LT we picked up on eBay for $180, still in its box. The Tandy 1400s all had a tough plastic exterior, and it's always nice for us in the busy studio to see which model is which without having to pull it down and pull the latches to flip it open and see the badges on the inside like you have to do with some slightly newer Tandy laptops. Flipping the lid open reveals the Super Twist display, indicator lights, and the 76-key keyboard, which has a light feel and slight key click. The right side contains the display contrast knob, the power switch, and the internal-external drive selector. The back of the system houses the DC power connector, the external disk drive port, RGB video output, an expansion slot for a math coprocessor, serial and parallel ports, and another expansion slot for an internal modem. The manual states that a math coprocessor must be installed by an authorized dealer, which is probably because trying to put those little tiny screws back into place is a nightmare for full-grown adult sausage fingers. Also, the LT had a switch for turning the built-in display on or off. The battery compartment is located on the top of the left side and it slides easily into place. Now let's see if any of these computers still work after 32 years. This is our Tandy 1400 LT. It's a pretty cool computer. We did do an unboxing video of this computer quite a while back, last decade. So I don't know how good it's gonna be, but I hope you like it, and I hope you like this. This is where we find out whether or not this computer actually works. We've got everything set up. There's a monitor there, but I also have the screen here, and my understanding is you can only show to one screen at a time on these old laptops, not both. The luxuries of modern displays, right? So I'm gonna have to put in the magic secret code in order to swap it to that screen for you guys on boot up. That is, you know, if it doesn't explode on us. So I'm going to have to plug it in and see what happens. It is beeping at me and the screen has turned, well, I wouldn't say on, but it's changed shades. Hello? I've just got a flashing light and that's it. And hear noise, oh, more beeping. What are you doing, computer? It's not booting, it's just whining. But I don't know what it's whining about. Let's try unplugging it and plugging back in once. Let's just make sure. Yes. You're upset. Okay, I don't think it's gonna tell me what's wrong with it. Let's see what happens. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm smelling bad smokes. Oh, that's not... Ooh, that smells really bad. Man, we don't have smell-o-vision yet on YouTube, but if we did, you guys would be smelling this right now. It smells bad. So, yes, you're not doing all right. We understand. So, something's probably not right here. Either a blown cap or maybe the... Ooh, I should not have lifted that. That smells bad. Okay, we're gonna unplug that. I think it's probably the battery that's gone on this thing. We're gonna have to air out the room before we transition to the next laptop. Okay, so I now have set up the 1400 FD, and I really hope this thing works and doesn't create any issues like the last one did, because the smell is still in this room, and it does not smell nice. All right, let's plug it in and see what happens. And see what happens. And see what happens. Hello? I got nothing from this. It's plugged in. It's not an issue of Jacob forgetting to plug the thing in. I'm getting absolutely no power into it though. So, wow, today has not been a good day for me in testing computers. Yeah, I think this thing's just dead for whatever reason. It probably has something to do with the battery. These batteries do tend to go on these types of computers, but usually they'll boot even without it. I don't think this one will. Well, that was anticlimactic, but that happens sometimes. You can never predict what an old computer you've never turned on will do. So please make sure to like this video, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Check out our most recent video. I'm not sure what it was, but it'll be on screen right now. And I'll see you guys next time. All right, so quick update for you guys. This is our 1400 LT here, and we realized after filming that if you remove the battery, it works. Hooray! The others don't, just this one. But I thought it would be fun to just real quick show you guys what that looks like. Unfortunately, I did not prepare ahead and bring any DOS discs with me, so we're just gonna get to the boot screen and that's about it. Hooray! Let's plug it in. It beeps. We can get a good look at what the screen looks like. You'll notice it's here, let me angle it for you. You're not going to see it very well. Maybe if we turned off all the lights you could see it. I don't know. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I mean, that's not too bad, right? You can mostly see that. Let me see. Ooh. So to me, that looks best. But we'll go like right here. And then just for the fun of it, I'm also going to try to see if I can swap it over. There we go. To the external display, which is over there, so we can get a nice clean output of the screen for you. Just so you can see, yes, it indeed does work. That is what this is trying to show you guys. Which one were better? Editor, can we put a side-by-side between the screen here and the actual monitor output just to show how amazing of a display this is? Thanks. All right, that's it for this addendum.